Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just trying to make sure that the lighting is good and you guys can see me and I can see y'all. Welcome. We'll do our 3-minute grace period. I guess I came on like a minute early, so it's just now 12:30. I got in on yesterday, so I am here at my regular scheduled time, which is 12:30. And y'all know I get started at 12:33, whether you're here or not, because I know we all have productive schedules and we're on different time zones. So if you can catch Monday Marketplace Madness, that is amazing. And if you can't catch it live, you can always catch it on the replay. So that's an option for you. Hope you guys can hear me. And yeah, so if y'all can see, I got a new look. I was so excited about getting this new look that I have been contemplating it actually since January. So I stopped getting my locks retouched in January, and then I let the new growth grow out, cut it into my cute little bob look. I liked the bob look, but it was only temporary. And so now I am here with the look that I was really going for. So I'm excited about it. And if you know me, you know orange is my favorite color. So it is orange. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Say hi in the chat so I can see if my chats are showing up. I can't see who it is. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the love. Hey, Gloria. Girl, you know you be busy doing your thing. I was just looking at your pictures and all of the beautiful colors that you and your ladies had on. That looks amazing. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys were down here near me. So I am in Tampa, and I think I'm in Brandon, which is outside of Tampa. And I think you guys were in in Tampa or Orlando. So I hope you enjoyed the beautiful blue skies and the lovely sunshine. And just keep on doing what God has called you to do. You're doing a great job at it, and you're empowering women at the same time. So that's your marketplace ministry. Hey, Tina, thank you for joining. Like and share, invite a business bestie, because today is the last day that we're talking about, what is our topic? Leading through transition and uncertainty. And me and my husband can talk about that a lot, because we have been leading through transition and uncertainty for quite some time. So as you're transitioning and you're going into uncharted waters, it's a scary place, but if you have the Holy Spirit on the inside of you, the Holy Spirit will guide you and direct you the whole time. So you don't have to be scared about leading through uncertainty and leading through transition. Because if you tap into the Holy Spirit, he knows everything and he will guide you all the way along the path. So we got one more minute, and then we'll probably a half a minute, because my clock says 12:32, and at 12:33 I start. I try to do a 3-minute grace period, and I come on here for 30 minutes and just give you some tips and pointers and some prophetic strategies on how to move forward in your business. Please like and share. And invite a business bestie so they can get this information. So it is 12:33 and I am about to get started. So welcome to Monday Marketplace Mantle. If you don't know, I am Teresa S. McCurry. I'm the CIO, Chief Inspirational Officer of Super T Inspires. And I'm also the co-founder of McCurry Ministries International. That's where my husband and I, we come alongside ministry, marketplace, and marriage, and we help people navigate in those 3 areas. And we give you prophetic strategies, and we give you systems to be able to apply to your business, to your ministry, to your nonprofit, so you can move forward and be successful. So I think this is my first time coming on since my nonprofit, is it? Yeah, so we had a June 19th, which is World Sickle Cell Day. So we had June 19th, which is World Sickle Cell Day, and it was Juneteenth. So we've been doing World Sickle Cell Day. That was our 9th fundraising event. We had a brunch. It was called Bloodline Blessing Brunch. our Madam President, Kimberly Moore, did an amazing job putting everything together. Thank you to everyone that showed up and donated and just came out to support our fundraiser. We love you. Look forward to next year, 2027. We're going to do a gospel extravaganza for our June 19th fundraiser, and it's going to be amazing. All right, so the theme for today is maintain clarity and purpose through transition and uncertainty. So that was the theme for the month of June. So this is the last Monday in June, so we won't be talking about that moving forward. And today our topic is maintain clarity of purpose while adjusting methods. Maintain clarity of purpose while adjusting methods. So what does that mean? That means that when God has called me to do something, the way that I do it may change. That's adjusting the methods, but the purpose is still the same. So when he called me to do something, like back in the day, we wasn't using, I think I gave this example last time, we had 8 tracks. And then we had cassettes, and then we have CDs, and now they don't have any of that. Everything is MP3s, and you get stuff digitally. So if we were staying back in the day and trying to do things with 8 tracks, we would be totally left behind, and the world would be going on, and we would miss out on a lot of business and a lot of ministry, right? So while you're making those adjustments, you want to remain focused and consistent on the things that are working. The methods may need to change. And when you realize that the methods may need to change, you need to change the way that you're doing business so you can be current in the way that things are going. So the first point I want to say is purpose is permanent. Methods are flexible. Purpose is permanent. Methods are flexible. So the purpose that God created you for, the purpose that he wanted you to come here on this planet called Earth and do business and do ministry, that should stay the same. I think I gave y'all the example last time. I've been a teacher, right? So I taught with Mazzani for over 15 years, teaching you how to use their products. I've taught Bible study. So I've been like an international Bible teacher going around teaching the word of God. I teach business strategies, right? So everything, that purpose, the purpose of being a teacher, that's permanent. So whenever I'm talking to you, I'm normally trying to teach you something, or I'm trying to learn something, because the best teachers are the best students, right? So with that, that purpose is the same, but the methods are flexible. I've taught in person, I've taught online, I've taught remotely. So there's different ways of doing it. So the purpose is permanent, but the methods need to be flexible, and you need to be flexible in the methods that you use to do things. Don't just like taking money. So if you're in business, you can't have one means of taking money, right? You got to take money on Cash App, on Zelle, on Venmo, on PayPal, or however you want to get. If you need to wire it, Western Union, however you need to get it to me, that's how I need to take it, right? So don't limit yourself. I know a lot of people don't like to use Cash App and they don't consider that as a viable business tool, but you can make it a viable business tool depending on how you have it set up and how you have it structured. So with that being said, let's go into our first point. Our first point is purpose is permanent, methods are flexible. So review your mission statement quarterly and ask yourself this question: does it still reflect why I exist? So whatever you're doing, you have to ask yourself, does it still reflect why I exist? So why does your business exist? Why does your ministry exist? Why does your nonprofit exist? And if you are really broad, you need to narrow it down to a niche. You need to be speaking to a specific person that has a specific need. Because if you're too general, you won't know when things are changing. So you don't want to be so general that people don't know who you are or what you do. Be willing to replace outdated systems, technology, marketing strategies that no longer produce results. So if there's a marketing strategy that you've been using and it's no longer producing results, we need to eliminate that particular market strategy. Don't confuse tradition with effectiveness. So sometimes people say, well, this is the way we've always done it. But that don't mean that you have to continue doing it that way because that's the way you've always done it. Things evolve, things change. So you want to be able to be flexible and change with the change. Just because something worked 5 years ago doesn't mean it's the best approach today. Because I want to be using the best approach, because there's the good, the better, and the best. So we want to use the best approach of going about things. We don't want to use things that's outdated. And keep asking yourself, is this helping me accomplish my mission? Is this helping me get to the target market that I'm looking for? Is this helping me to reach the people that I'm looking for? So just because it's been a routine doesn't mean you have to continue to do that. You don't have to continue to do that. So that was point number 1. Purpose is permanent, but your methods are flexible. Point number 2, where is my other paper? Here we go. Point number 2. Evaluate what is working. So when you're evaluating what is working, okay, so for us I'm going to just use my nonprofit for today. So in the MCS fund, we have 3 things that we do. We educate, we advocate, and we provide resources. So you want to write down your organizational purpose in 1 sentence, and then list 3 methods you are currently using to accomplish that purpose. So our purpose is to help people that are affected with sickle cell. We service them through education, through advocacy, and through resources. So when you're looking at the things that you're doing, you want to evaluate it. Are those 3 points being met? Are we helping people via education, educating them, their caregivers, the community at large on what sickle cell is? Are we helping sickle cell affected individuals advocate for themselves, advocating for the needs that they have when they go to the hospital and things of that nature? Are we providing resources? So what we do, we provide resources. So in that, do we have connections with hospitals? Do we have connections with social workers? Do we have connections with the Red Cross, people in the community that is helping us serve the population that we're served? Because when God has called us to business, we're not supposed to be in an island. We're supposed to work with other people. And healthy organizations evaluate regularly instead of operating on assumptions. Healthy organizations evaluate regularly instead of operating on assumptions. So if I am working and I'm doing certain things, I want to come back and evaluate what it is that I'm doing and not operate on assumptions. Sometimes you need to even do a survey and find out what it is that the people need that you're servicing. You don't want to just assume that. I would say schedule a monthly or a quarterly stop, start, and continue. Y'all heard me say that before. I'm going to say it again because it's so good. It's something that you can use no matter what you're doing. And what that is, you want to have a meeting with your team, whether it's your board members, whether it's your ministry members, whether it's people that are part of your organization, your volunteers. And you want to say, what is it that we need to stop doing? What is it we're doing that is not serving us? What is it that we need to start doing? What is something new that we can be doing? And what is something that we need to continue doing? So stop, start, and continue. And I think that if you have that meeting on a monthly or a quarterly basis, you can kind of see what's working and see what's not. Because if you don't know your numbers and you don't know the metrics, you're not going to know what's working and what's not working anyway. Hey, my daughter Tiara, thank you for tuning in. Measure outcomes, not just activity. Y'all know I have a pet peeve. If somebody tell me, I see you busy, that's like cussing at me. That's like just using straight up profanity at me because I'm not busy. I'm productive. Because a dog chasing his tail is busy. A hamster running around a wheel is busy. I don't want to be busy. I want to be productive. I want to see results of the work that I'm doing. I want to see results from the people that I am impact. So there's a productivity. And we understand our words mean so much. Our words have so much power and authority. So we don't want to just be busy. We want to be productive. Listen to feedback from clients, from members, from volunteers, from customers, even in people in your congregation. Because when you listen to the feedback from them, when you're evaluating what is working and what is not working, they can show you some blind spots. Because I don't care who you are. we all have blind spots. There's certain things that we're just not seeing. And I'm not seeing it, not because I'm not looking for it, because my focus and my attention is on something else. So a lot of times back when my husband and I was in ministry and people decide that they're going to leave your ministry, they always say God told them. But anywho, and then we say, okay, can we have an exit interview with you? If you're in leadership, we want to have an exit interview with you. And when we have an exit interview, we always ask, is there a blind spot? Is there something that we're missing? Is there something that we're not seeing? Is there some teaching that needs to go forth so we can help move this process forward? A lot of times people will point out some blind spots. A lot of times they'll say, no, everything is perfect. It's just my season is over. But you don't want yes men around you. At least I don't. I want people that are going to point out things so that I can know what they are. And I can address them accordingly. Because if I don't know, I can't confront it. You can't conquer what you can't confront. So I can't confront it if I don't even know it exists. So when I'm doing what we should start doing, what we should stop doing, and what we should continue to do, and I call somebody in for an exit interview and they point those blind spots out to me, then it's my responsibility to address those blind spots. It's my responsibility to find out what can I do better? How can I make this better? You know, a lot of times people do things and they never go back and evaluate it to see how was it. Or like nowadays, if you know what corporate does, corporate always sends out a lot of evaluations. They want to evaluate this and they want to evaluate that. And if you're going to take the time to do an evaluation, be honest. Give them your honest feedback so they can make adjustments and be better as they move forward. Because if I keep telling you everything is amazing, everything is perfect, and everything is not amazing, and everything is not perfect, you're not helping me to grow. You're not helping me to be better. Like on here, I always say, if there's a topic that you guys want me to discuss, please DM me so I can research that topic and come back and have our Monday Marketplace Mantle conversation around that topic. I think this is my week 13. I think I've received one request for a topic. So in my mind, it's like, okay, am I doing good picking the topics? Or am I missing the mark and people just don't want to say? So if I'm on here to give you tips and strategies, prophetic tips and strategies for your marketplace mantle, please ask me the questions and then I'll seek God and come back with what the answer that he has given me. A lot of times when there's something that's totally specific, then you have to seek God for yourself because you're looking for a specific answer. But if it's a general question, something general that I can help you with, I'll be more than happy to help you with that. We're putting together programs right now to help people in ministry and marketplace and marriage so you all can grow. We can give you the tools. Greg and I have been in ministry I've been in business for over 30 years. I've been in ministry for the last 16 years. And I would say we were pretty successful at it. The ministry is still going on. We passed it along to someone else. When I was in business, I did transfer my business over. But the guy that I transferred it over to, it just didn't work out. And then we just had to walk away from it, right? Because sometimes you build something and once that season is over for you, you cannot stay there because you'll die in that season, in that particular thing. If you have somebody that you can transfer it over to, that's having an exit plan, right? That's having a succession plan. And if that succession plan doesn't work out, I wasn't able to keep it going. One, for 2008, all of the upheaval, all of the, what was going on in 2008? They called it, it was something with the finance and people were not spending a lot of disposable income. So in 2008, I want to say the real estate bubble and disposable income, all kind of things happened. They said it was a depression and people weren't spending money. So to have a business that was not a necessity, the business was not able to take care of itself. And one thing that I have learned in business, when the business does not take care of itself, it's time to close the business. because you can drain your own personal finances trying to fund a business that is not working. So because of the seasons and the time that, in the Bible, it talks about the sons of Issachar, and they knew the times and the seasons. I knew the time and the season for Mimi's hair having this spa was over. So I had to move on to do something different. And that's okay. It's all the things that I've learned during that process. The lessons are invaluable. I learned so much during that process. So now we come to our last point. Our last point, number 3, is to pivot without losing momentum. Pivot without losing momentum. So when things have to change, when you have to adjust your business, adjust your ministry, or adjust your nonprofit, you want to be able to pivot without losing momentum. You don't want to have to start all over. Adjusting your strategy is not quitting. It is exercising wisdom. I want you to just think about that, and I'm going to say it again. So the point number 3 is pivot without losing momentum. The thought that I want you to think about and walk away with as it relates to point number 3 is adjust your strategy. Adjusting your strategy is not quitting. It doesn't mean that I quit. It means that I'm exercising wisdom and I'm moving in a different direction. Make small adjustments before problems become major setbacks. Adjusting your strategy is not quitting. It is exercising wisdom. Hey, my son Sam, thank you for tuning in. So make small adjustments before problems become major setbacks. So when you see that you need to pivot, you can make small adjustments. Make small adjustments. I'm trying to think of an example that you can make small adjustments. If you were like for us, we give away funds, and sometimes the funds get low, and I really don't like that. But we give away $600 per person per year. So when we look at the funds and they get low, we have to make an adjustment. So where we were giving each individual $600 per year, we might have to step back for a season, for a quarter, and only give away $300 per year until the bank account gets to a certain amount, and then we can go back to giving away the $600 per year. Hopefully I'm making sense. Hopefully you understand. I'm making a reference to the MCS fund and the funding that we give. So when you have to make small adjustments before it becomes a major setback. So you want to, if you can perceive and you can see what's going on, make some small adjustments before it comes to a point where it's going to be detrimental to your business or your nonprofit organization. Communicate changes clearly with your team so everyone understands the reason for the pivot. Because there's nothing like you having to pivot and then you got to keep on addressing situations and circumstances with your team because they don't understand what's going on. So when you sit down and remember in that meeting that stop doing, continue doing meeting, and I communicate what's going on, and then we have to pivot, everybody should understand why we're pivoting and we're on the same page and we're all saying the same thing. So then that way is no confusion, because when you got confusion, you got a lot of stuff going on. So the more that we can communicate clearly and get things done, that's going to just help everybody. Focus on solving today's challenges while keeping tomorrow's vision in view. Focus on solving today's challenges while keeping tomorrow's vision in view, because as we continue to move forward, yes, there may be challenges, but we also want to say the end game is this. When we get to the end, we're going to do this. When we get to the end, it's going to be like this. Or there's probably never even going to be an end. As you continue to move forward, you want to just continue to be productive. Celebrate progress along the way. I am all for celebrating small wins. I'm all for going out to dinner. I'm all for going to have some coffee and conversation just to celebrate something that we've done. I celebrate life every day. Every day I wake up, it's like, Lord, I thank you that I'm still here in the land of the living. I thank you that I have wisdom in my mind. So small wins build confidence during seasons of transitions. So as you're transitioning, transitioning, you want to know that celebrating small wins is not a small thing. It keeps momentum going. So people like to celebrate, and find out how they like to be celebrated, and celebrate as a team as you continue to move forward. So let's review our 3 points. Point number 1, purpose is permanent, but methods are flexible. Purpose is permanent, but methods are flexible. Point number 2, evaluate what is working. Evaluate what is working. And point number 3, pivot without losing momentum. So you want to pivot without losing the momentum. If I'm excited, if people are a part of my group and part of my organization and they like what it is that I'm doing, let's keep that momentum going. Let's keep it going where people want to be a part of it and people like that. So identify one area where you've been resisting change and ask yourself, why am I afraid to move forward? What am I afraid of losing? So what is it that you might be afraid of losing? What opportunities could I gain by making this adjustment? So there's an opportunities that you can gain by making an adjustment. What is one action I can take this week to help me move forward? So as we are moving forward through transition and ending out this month of June, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in for week number 13. And then this is my closing thoughts. I wrote it down. I want to read it. So my closing thoughts for the month of June is transition is not the enemy of your purpose. It is often the pathway to greater effectiveness. Great leaders understand that the vision remains steady and the strategy will evolve. So long as the vision remains steady, other strategies will evolve. Other reasons for you to do it, other ways for you to do it will come up. We as leaders refuse to become emotionally attached to the methods and no longer serve the mission. So if the methods are no longer serving the mission, we need to let that method go and create a new method. So in Isaiah 43:19 reminds us that God specializes in creative new paths. It says, old things have passed away and behold, all things have become new. Remember, don't let yesterday's success become tomorrow's limitations. Stay anchored in your purpose. Remain open to fresh strategies. Remain open to fresh strategies and trust God to lead you into the next season of a greater impact. So as we trust God, as we move forward in this marketplace and understanding that we carry the mantle of the marketplace on us, God will entrust you with the vision that he has entrusted you with. So as we lead through transition and uncertainty, we need to stay focused on the task at hand. Thank you guys for tuning in. As you know, I am Teresa McCurry, the CIO, Chief Inspirational Officer of Super T Inspires, and I'm also the co-founder of McCurry Ministries International, and I am on here every Monday. I don't want to say what time. Normally it's 12:30, but sometimes I'm traveling, but I will be on here every Monday with Monday Marketplace Strategies to give you prophetic strategies for people that are in leadership and ministry and marriage. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you, Tiara. Thank you, Sam. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love you. Have a marvelous Monday. Be blessed, but most of all, be inspired. Bye-bye.